Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me. I am Pst Maxwell Nnawuihe. This channel, Maxwell Nnawuihe, combines Nnamdi Kanu and Biafra update with motivation and inspirational content to help you achieve your vision and your dreams. Leadership is about vision. I don't know if you know. We are talking about leadership today. Nnamdi Kanu, biblical and modern examples of leadership principles. It is about vision. It is about courage. It is about sacrifice. When we look at some people today that claim to be leaders, we discover that they lack vision. The vision they have is for themselves, not those they lead or the society or the company. As business owners, they don't care about their employees or their customers or their partners. Leadership is about courage, which many leaders today lack. There are leaders today that lack the courage to make certain leadership decisions to lead the people to their full potential. Leadership is about sacrifice. There are many leaders today who don't care. The impact of their leadership, the mistakes of the leadership, they don't care. The sufferings of the people, of the society, of the company, of the business, the employees, they don't care. Even in the family aspect of leadership, there are some husbands who don't care, that they cannot make sacrifice for their families. Leadership is about vision. It is about courage. It is about sacrifice. Until you begin to define and work according to your vision as a leader, you are not yet a leader. Until you begin to demonstrate courage in the face of different kind of adversities as a leader, you have not started leading. Until you begin to make sacrifices, you are not yet a good leader. A few leaders today, like Pst Nnamdi Kanu, exemplify what I've just mentioned. So here are key leadership qualities to learn from Pst Nnamdi Kanu, from the biblical and modern examples that will benefit you today. 1. Visionary thinking. That is number 1. Visionary thinking. As a leader, you must allow your vision to pattern your thinking. Think in a visionary format as a leader. You must allow your vision to guide your thinking. Every leader is supposed to think differently. You must think in a particular way that reflects a vision or that fulfills the vision of your leadership. Biblical example is Joseph. He interpreted the dream of Pharaoh, but before the interpretation of the dream of Pharaoh, he had his own dream where the corn, the sun and the moon were all bowing down to him, and he never allowed the betrayal and the persecution of his brethren to distort his vision. He allowed his vision to pattern his thinking, to model the right thinking process in him. When he was in the house of Potiphar, the wife accused him of attempted rape. He was thrown into the dungeon. Right there in the dungeon, his thinking was influenced, his thinking was patterned and controlled by his vision, his dream he had. And here he comes to interpret the dream of Pharaoh, which led to the saving of people's lives during famine. Modern day example is Steve Jobs, who envisioned the iPhone long before the world did. He envisioned it before the world came to know about the iPhone. And so, to lead ahead, you must think ahead. If you must lead ahead, you must think ahead. Explore possibilities instead of impossibilities, because exploration leads to insight, and without insight, you lack foresight. Allow your vision to pattern your thinking. You must have visionary thinking pattern. And number 2, resilience under persecution. Resilience under persecution. Pst Nnamdi Kanu embodies resilience under persecution. In his case, his trial, his abductions, his arrest, betrayals, sabotage, he embodies and exemplifies resilience under persecution. The poor can accommodate or endure persecution, but not the rich. In most cases, the rich can never endure it. The rich can never accommodate it. Pst Nnamdi Kanu was not born into a poor family background. As a matter of fact, he is a king right now. According to the African and Igbo leadership principles of succession of kings, Pst Nnamdi Kanu is the king. He has succeeded his father. He is the king of Isiama Faruku. Still, here he is enduring and accommodating persecution and remaining resilient under persecution in the dungeon. Still resilient. He risked his comfort, and that of his family. All of you are aware of this. To be incarcerated multiple times for Biafra independence, it is part of the sacrifice and also the courage to withstand all these calculated attempts to dampen his spirit that he may give up. He has remained resilient under persecution. Real leadership principles survives bars and shackles of imprisonment, as reflected, as evidenced in Pst Nnamdi Kanu. A biblical example is Daniel. He was thrown into the lion's den not because of his mistakes or carelessness in leadership. As the counselor to Nebuchadnezzar, he was the counselor. He served about 5 kings. He was a man with excellent spirit. He excelled in leadership. There was a plot and plan and conspiracy against Daniel out of jealousy. He was thrown into the lion's den. This was not because of his mistakes and carelessness in leadership. It was because of his beliefs, his courage to stand even as a slave in Babylon, to hold strongly onto his convictions and beliefs. For this, he was thrown into the lion's den. He was so steadfast in persecution. He was so resilient under persecution. And God intervened and delivered him. A modern example of this is Martin Luther King Jr. of the rights movement, or the civil rights movement. He was arrested multiple times, but he never backed down. He never capitulated. He was so resilient. And today, blacks around the world can stand firm and fight for their rights legally and constitutionally in their respective Western or European countries without fear. Today, the echo of his "I have a dream" reverberates through generations. The blacks all over the world, more especially in America, in Europe, they can aspire and be elected into political or leadership positions regardless of the color of their skins, because this very great man stood and withstood persecutions. He was so resilient under persecution. Number 3, unwavering courage. Number 3, quality when it comes to examples of leadership principles. Number 3 principle is unwavering courage. A biblical example of this is Queen Esther. Have you heard about the story of Queen Esther? I believe you have. She was so bold that she risked her life. Very courageous. She damned the consequences of going contrary to the laws of the Medes and Persians. In Esther chapter 4 verse 16, the life of her people were at risk. The Jewish people, they risked extermination as a result of the edict that was signed by the king. And there was need for intervention in order to save the life of the Jews. Who stands in a better position to do that? Queen Esther, as the wife of the emperor Ahasuerus. At the point, she didn't know actually what to do about it because she was quite young. Esther at this time was around the age of 20. She was not such an adult with great wisdom, but she summoned the courage to stand in the gap to see that her Jewish people were not exterminated. And she said to them, "Go, gather together all the Jews that are present in Shushan, and fast ye for me, and neither eat nor drink 3 days, night or day. I also and my maidens will fast likewise, and so will I go in unto the king, which is contrary, which is not according to the law. And if I perish, I perish." Many of us that fast and pray, sometimes when I go on dry fasting, 3 days dry fasting, 7 days dry fasting, it is part of the sacrifice of leadership. It is part of the sacrifice of leadership to provide solution, to make positive impact on the lives of those that I'm leading and those whose destinies are connected to mine. Esther said to them, "Go and fast." It was a dry fasting for 3 days. He said, "Don't eat nothing, don't drink nothing. I and my maidens, we're going to do the same. And then I will move in unto the king. If I perish, I perish." It is quite sacrificial, a courageous, bold step that she took. She was very comfortable as the queen of the Persians and wife of Emperor Ahasuerus, whose reign spans across the 120 provinces, including the Old Indies. But she stepped out of her comfort zone to fight for her Jewish people, even when her life was in danger of death. She said, "If I perish, I perish." Many leaders today cannot say it. Many leaders in politics today, they can never ever take such bold step. They may make the statement, they may release press statements before the camera, but in real practice, they cannot implement what they have said to the press or to the people. Esther said, if I perish, I perish. That very position of Esther in chapter 4 verse 16 still echoes and crystallizes the voice and the leadership principles of Pst Nnamdi Kanu today. If I perish, I perish. He has said several times that even if I die pursuing Biafra, so be it. But we are praying that God is going to keep him alive. He has made so much sacrifices. Another modern example today is the Pakistani Malala Yousafzai, who defies extremists to advocate for girl child education. As a girl child education activist, Malala survived an assassination attempt by the Taliban at the age of 15. And she happened to be the youngest Nobel Prize recipient because she stood to challenge the Taliban. She didn't count in as a result of the attempted assassinations on her life by the Taliban. Today she has become a voice for the girl child in different parts of the world who have been denied their right to education. The legacy of strong leadership is what that inspires so many aspiring leaders today. Great leaders inspire others to action. And Pst Nnamdi Kanu's fight for Biafra is a reminder that leadership is about serving a cause that is greater, that is higher than yourself. True leaders always seek for the well-being of their people, the people they lead under their leadership. True leaders don't seek comfort. They seek for change. They try to bring about change in the status quo, a shift in the paradigm. What we have seen and learned in Pst Nnamdi Kanu, biblical and modern examples of leadership principles. Number one is visionary thinking. And number two, resilience under persecution. And number three, unwavering courage. So now, which of these leadership principles stands out for you? Which of them that hit you the most? Which of them speaks to you at the moment? Drop a comment in the chat section, and please don't forget to hit the like and the share buttons. Also subscribe to this channel for more leadership, motivation and inspirational content. I will see you again in the next video. Thank you and God bless you.